When you have these situations where you are up against a big company calling you a liar through a lawsuit,
We're afraid to go up against the big guy because they have so much money. We're intimidated by it.
they were the ones that came and ripped us off, and they expected us to not have the audacity. All right, so this is an interesting one. So T.I. and Tiny, they were awarded 71 million. 71 million. This is after approximately a
Huge.
4-year legal battle. And here's what I just kind of love about this is that when you have these situations where you are up against a big company and that big company is calling you a liar through a lawsuit and trying to convince a jury that you're just trying to extort all this money out of them, because that's always something you're fighting up against, right? If you're suing someone, you're usually seeking damages,
Sure.
right? And so then the other side is gonna be like, oh, this is just, your big attempt to just extort money out of us. And that's in fact what they said in regards to Ti and Tiny. So let's talk about what happened. This is from People. So Ti and Tiny have won their lawsuit against MGA Entertainment, claiming the company violated the intellectual property rights of their music group, the OMG Girlz, with companies LOL Surprise OMG Dolls. So on Monday, September 23rd, the escaped singer 49 shared her happiness after the years-long court battle, which ended with a $71 million victory.
Side
We
note, I
did.
love Escape. Her group. I'm just saying, side note, I love Escape.
Okay. Quote, we did this for the city. We did this for the culture, Tiny said during an Instagram live video outside of the federal courthouse. Quote, it was a fight. It was a hell of a fight, she continued. I mean, like, the reality of they probably spent $1 million on legal
Oh,
fees,
for over
right? So
four
the lawsuit
years?
started, yeah, lawsuit started in 2020. So, there's always that's the other thing. Like, what happens a lot for people who file lawsuits is that they get what we call litigation fatigue. And so at some points, the parties just get tired. They get emotionally tired, they get financially tired. And so that's why a lot of these cases do end up settling and
Yeah.
people don't have a final, jury trial, let's say. So in any case, they went the distance. All right. Here we go. So the understanding singer also thanked the jurors for reaching a unanimous verdict.
Yeah.
We wanted to thank the jurors for just seeing us through this and just believing in what we said. And I know deep down, like in my heart, with clients who have to go through the pain and frustration of a lawsuit, like that she really does mean this. So let's take a look. So this is kind of what happened. This was the base award was basically, what would that be? Essentially about 15 million, and then the remainder were punitive damages. So just so you guys know, the punitive damages are the ones where the jurors just added on and they go, because of the wrongdoing that you did. Yeah, they added $53.6 million on top of that. I mean, wow, they did more than I thought they would. She told the outlet, I
Tiny.
would have been happy with whatever. They blessed us more. And so she's just saying she, wishes she could thank them. I think that was a bully tactic. So they're talking about Ti. So Ti shared a statement via phone conversation. I think that was a bully tactic. The Live Your Life rapper says of lawyers for MGA calling the lawsuit a money grab. There you go. They were trying to paint me as the bad guy when really they were the bad ones. They were the ones that came and ripped us off, and they expected us to not have the audacity
Yeah.
to stand up and speak for ourselves, he continued. That kind of condescension comes from when you're not really in touch with the reality of culture after you've gone so long of having it your way and nobody really standing up and speaking against you. This speaks so much to me of just like, you never thought you would get caught,
Well, it's
right?
that, and you talk, you talk about all the time about, and we have cases of where big companies are trying to bully like little guys when they have something, or when you hear about artists stealing, unknown producer songs or tracks or whatever. This stuff happens, and usually, like what happens is, we're as the little guy, we're afraid to go up against the big guy because they have so much money. We're intimidated by it, and they're just like, "Oh, it's crazy. You're just trying to get money." It's like whatever. It's like, bro, like you literally stole something, you ripped us off, and then you're like, it's more of the principle of the matter at some point. And I think that's why they were, I'm sure they would have been happy just to get squared on it, Ti and Tiny. But the fact that they got this judgment, companies take notice.
Sometimes you have to go the distance. And I say this to our clients, through our law firm all the time. And I'm like, sometimes you don't want to go the distance. It doesn't make sense to invest that much of your time and your money. And, let's just get this settled. And sometimes you do need to go the distance. And for this, wow.
Well,
what an incredible outcome for them.
MGA, it says that they argued that the dolls were not inspired by the group, but the jurors found that 7 of the dolls of the 32 had copied the OMG Girlz likeness in trade dress with some other drawings and styles from artists like Beyonce, Lady Gaga. I'm just glad that this a smaller voice was able. Now you can argue Ti and Tiny still have huge voices, but just nonetheless, it's good to see that when you can call them out on this stuff and you can actually win.
You can actually win. Get a lawyer.